My name is Andrew Foley, and I'm the Regional Executive of the Sports Car Club of America for the Oregon region. And the Sports Car Club of America is the grassroots of motorsports. We have roughly 1,200 members, 1,200 driving members in the Oregon region. Portland International Raceway is absolutely a fantastic place. Not many people know this. It is a public park. It is owned by the city of Portland. It's a 1.97 mile track with 12 turns in it. And we've hosted every event from Indy to NASCAR to ALMS to SCCA racing. This is the only park that I know of that's a public park, and the only racetrack that's a public park in the United States. What makes this track fantastic is we are not 5 minutes from a major metropolitan area in the United States. You can't ask for a better position to be in. The track actually makes money for the city, which is the only park in Oregon that does. But we also have within our races, or we call them groups, but within the groups, there are multiple classes running. I can't say enough about Mazda. More guys race Mazdas. The ad is true. You go walk around the paddock, and out of 182 entries, 60 of them are going to be Mazdas. They do more to support the racers, and I'm not talking about the national guys, or I'm talking your bread and butter. These guys racing the Spec Miatas out here today can call up Mazda Motorsports, and a guy will answer the phone and help them with technical data.
I wake up in the morning, I go sell Mazda parts all day, and then I go home, and then I work on cars at home and play with the kids. It's a lot of fun. Families are really supportive of this, which is great. The opportunity came up. If you wanted to race in a pro series, you have the chance to do it really inexpensive. You don't have to go through all the hoops that a lot of other people have to do. I mean, you can buy yourself a car, build it, get it out on the track, and anybody can do this, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's a lot more interesting, actually, not really high speed, but when you got somebody 3 or 4 inches that's next to you, and you're both trying to go through a corner that really only accepts 1.5 cars, it's kind of not really a game of chicken, but definitely gets the heart going, and it's a good feeling. You get off the track, you get a good invigorated feeling when you get done. This is actually my first novice race. You do 2 novice races, you get a regional license, so this will be a lot of fun. This is the first time this car's actually been out.
This year we started the same program with the SCCA, and this is a pilot program that we started in the Oregon region. And we've done the exact same thing with drifting. You know, with the idea that we get them off of the streets and doing it in a safe and controlled environment. Our first weekend, we had 1,200 people show up. It was a major event. Today is the second weekend.
My name is Yoon. We've been kind of actively working on this for about 6 to 8 months. A couple of drifters came up to us about a year ago and said, hey, we're interested in doing a drifting series. They actually just wanted to find a back parking lot somewhere where they can just drift. And our organization called the Farm Project, basically what we do is we take ideas and then create them into reality. And so we decided to take on this little venture, jumped into it, and here we are 6, 8 months later and stuff. And so we have a full series. This is now the only active series in the Portland area and stuff for drifting. And we've seen this continue to grow. I mean, it just grew exponentially in like 3, 4 months. I think it's just the extreme sports. I think it's more the excitement of it. We consider drifting as a form of art. If you watch the drivers and the way they have to plan their car and the way they have to like transfer the weight of the vehicle from one side to the other, it takes a lot of creativity to come up with the lines that they do. And so what we do is we just lay out a track, and it's really their mission to get out there and figure out what's going to be the best way to enter, exit, and then transfer their weight all the way through. And if you watch each driver, they have their own little style, which is amazing because you can kind of tell who really has the craft down and dialed it in to an absolute art form. And you see these cars going sideways. It's kind of like controlled chaos is what it is, because they're throwing their vehicle out of control but maintaining a flow or a line through the whole entire thing. And so you get to really experience the creativity behind driving. You know, it's not putting 4 wheels in the same motion. It's putting 4 wheels and throwing it out there to see where it ends up. But these guys have such good control over their cars that they can bring it all the way through a line where you're just looking at it like, oh my gosh, you're going to crash into something, and then boom. So we have a car show end over there, which is we call more the experience of the industry. We go after the core demographic. A couple of our backers and sponsors, 686, Monster Energy, and State. Those guys are really into the entire scene of what we're trying to like focus on. And so we found that a lot of kids and a lot of youth within this industry, they really don't have an outlet to kind of like, do what they want to do. And so what they found, or what we found, is a lot of these guys end up going to back alleys or illegal places and stuff, and so a lot of trespassing issues. And so that's kind of why we networked with SCCA. Andrew over here, he got us plugged in with PIR, and the rest of it's all history.
If you were to start racing today, this is the organization that you'd join. We have a real good training program to get people off of the streets, bring them onto the racetracks, teach them how to race, and so they can move forward in their careers.
25 years old. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I actually just got my FD license last year. So I'm a Formula Drift Pro driver, and this is my return to Portland International Raceway after about 4 years of being away from the track, and they haven't had drift events here. So this is a new thing that they're starting back up, and I'm really excited to be here. I just really fell in love with the sport, and it was kind of right around the time I started driving and getting my driver's license. So I just started e-braking around and playing with it and just fell absolutely head over heels in love with it. The first goal is Rookie of the Year, which I'm going to be fighting really hard to take that from Daigo this year. But going from there, I'd say I'm really pushing for FD champion in the next 5 years, I'd say. It's going to be a long uphill battle, but I think I'm ready for the challenge. And, in the next few years, we just got to really show everybody what we're all about and step it up. This is an amazing track. I mean, the difference here is I'm used to driving on arena-style oval courses, and this is way more of an open road course format. And so you get a lot more confidence, really, driving here. You can just mash it and go all out into the corner, whereas, Evergreen, there's a wall everywhere. And Long Beach, same thing, Irwindale. So it's a lot more of an open format. As a driver, you can just push it way harder and just find your line and really feel it out. It's super smooth, the pavement's amazing. I mean, it's a whole nother experience, and I love them both to death, but it's great. And this is kind of my home track in a way, because I used to drift here, and so this is where my heart is.
I think if you polled the NASCAR drivers, 95% of them have run with the SCCA. At some point in their careers, they either have driven with the SCCA or have been part of the SCCA. And if you asked them today, many members of NASCAR are. And to give you an example, I know for a fact, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Mark Martin, they've all raced with the SCCA. In 1961, we had our first Rose Cup race. The Rose Cup races, which happened here in June, the 15th, 16th, and 17th, is part of the Rose Festival, the citywide organization. It's the last event of the season for the Rose Festival. It all culminates on that end. This will be our 51st year in running the road race. It's one of the longest road races in the United States.